with Tri County Locksmith Service, and today I want to go over some of the features and aspects of two of the drill rigs that are going to be on the market. These are locksmith drill rigs. They're designed to aid in safe drilling, particularly drilling through hard plate and taking a lot of stress off of the operator and you know, compressing that stress onto a mechanical device to allow you to drill things much easier, faster, more efficient, and make more money, and do your job easier and have less stress on your body. These are the two main ones that are out there. I think they're the only two ones. I haven't really seen any more knockoff type of stuff, but this is going to be the StrongArm, or StrongArm mini rig, and this is going to be the Lockmasters Bullet 2. Both of these are very, very good units. Anybody that had either one of them is going to be hands down 10 times happier than not having one. These, as compared to using a lever rig or some of the other stuff that's available out there, hands down, these things are well worth their money. Either one, by far, is definitely well worth the money. But some of them have different aspects than the other ones, and good and plus and minuses. They both pretty much do the same thing, but there are a few differences. I want to go over that. First of all, the StrongArm rig is going to be $8.99, so you're going to be looking at about $900. The Lockmasters rig is a little bit less expensive, coming in at $8.35, and every now and then they have these on sale, and I think you can get them down to about, you know, right at that $800 mark, $7.99, $7.50, somewhere right in there sometimes, just depending on what time of year it is, how many they buy, and what their ordering status is. I don't know that the StrongArm rig goes on sale. I've never heard of it being on sale, so that's that. Both of these units I did purchase with my own money, so there is no bias here. The StrongArm rig was purchased used, and then this one was purchased new, but it doesn't really matter. This stuff, you know, I had a used unit before this, and then this is the new unit, so I just purchased both new before I decided which one I wanted to go ahead and buy new. So let's go ahead and get into it. First of all, this is like a Pelican case. It's got super heavy duty stuff here. Like it's a polymer case that actually has a rubberized seal, so you could literally like take this thing and throw it in a lake and it would float. Well, I don't know if it would actually float, but it would keep the water out and it would keep the stuff inside a lot nicer than the StrongArm case. So if you're out in the field, rain, weather, etc., you throw this thing in the back of a truck or an open area, it's actually going to go ahead and take that and survive, whereas the StrongArm case probably not so much. It's just kind of more of a plasticky, you know, no seal kind of unit. But it is smaller, and I kind of like the fact that it is a little bit smaller. Usually in your van, you're only going to have so much room for so much stuff. So having a smaller unit like this is actually kind of a plus. If they were able to shrink this down to this size, but have that water seal, that would you know, that would make a difference to me. I would like that a little bit smaller. I would like to see this case a little bit smaller. You know, you travel around, you take this stuff, you take it on an airplane, things like that. You know, space becomes valuable quickly. Not to mention that we come to the next big difference between these two units, other than just the box here, is actually what's in them. First of all, the StrongArm rig is going to come with a dial pulling kit. So this dial puller is going to come right in here and it's going to be ready to go with it. The Lockmasters unit is not going to have a dial puller. So if you do not have a dial puller, you are going to need to purchase one separately for the Lockmasters unit. This one's going to have it right here. It's going to be in the case, and it's in a smaller unit. So those are some of the big pluses for the StrongArm unit here. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the dial puller. You should know what that's all about and what it does and how to use it and whatnot. I'm going to go into more of the functionality of these two right now. Let's set this one over here. And let's take a look at the StrongArm unit right now. Okay, so basically, what it looks like to me is that this is a polymer base. It may be aluminum. No, it is aluminum. Okay, so that is actually aluminum. All right. So it looks like we've got an aluminum base here, and we would build this unit by taking it out, going ahead and screwing these in here. These are going to be your leverage points. Okay, so once we get those on there like that, then you can go ahead and thread this unit. And the biggest thing that I've found is that this unit must not have been used hardly at all, because it is fairly difficult to thread in and out. And I would assume that's a good thing for now. It just means that it hasn't been used very much, and it will wear in as we go. But that, so far, is the most significant difference that I found in between these two units, is that the StrongArm unit was much, much more difficult to thread in and thread out. Even after applying some lubrication and whatnot to it, it never really seemed to free up. I would assume after you had threaded this in and out of here, you know, a couple times and done a couple different jobs with it, that would free it up quite a bit. But as far as brand new out of the box, or at least this particular unit, it seemed to be very stiff for my comfort, anyways. One of the things I do like about this unit is that the drill is designed to attach directly to the end. Okay, the Lockmasters unit actually requires a socket type setup that goes on your drill. This goes directly to the drill chuck. On the other end, you're going to have a Jacobs 3/8" chuck right here. So, you know, Jacobs, American made. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. It is what it is. Jacob makes a great chuck. They probably make the best one out there as far as that goes. And then it is going to come with a few drill templates. So these are going to have some, you know, your basic drill points for your mechanical locks. I didn't get into too much exactly where these are all pointed at, but they're designed to work with the base here. And basically what this does is this bolts onto the safe, and then this unit then bolts and threads onto that. You can see how you have the different threaded units right here. You would actually be able to go ahead and thread that right on there like so. So you're using the bolt force of the actual safe itself to apply the pressure or the resistance or the base point that applies the pressure for the drilling force. And that's the way both of these drill rigs operate. But that's how this one's going to attach. You can attach it like so, or you can use the hex heads, or the hex threads here, to go ahead and attach that this way. Let's see here. We've got a couple other things. It's going to include all the Allen wrenches that you're going to need, all the nuts and bolts that you're going to need to go ahead and set this up. I'm going to be right in here. It is going to include the socket, and then it is going to include another one of these that's a little bit larger thread. So you're going to have a 1/4 inch, and I bet that's going to be about 5/16 on that one right there. Same idea. Basically, that's going to thread into there, and then allow that to attach that to that plate. As far as this attaching to the rig, this is where these are going to differ again. This, you can see what we're doing here. We're actually spreading that, and then it pops right on, like so. You can see. And then, in theory, there we go. And looks like we're going to have to back it off a little bit to get it to go. There. Okay. So you can see how that works. These thread right on, like so. And that's how that unit is going to attach to the base plate. The Lockmasters unit actually uses air chucks. I don't know which one I really like better. They're both, I mean, they both come on and off fairly easily. As far as removing this is the main point, focal point of this, you know, as to what they do, because you're going to be taking this on and off a lot because you're going to need to drill a little bit, and then you're going to need to look in the hole and scope, and drill a little bit and then look in the hole and scope, and then drill a little bit and look in the hole and scope. So having to do that and then kind of having to do this. The only thing that I found out that was easier to do, I think this is probably an easier attachment system than the air checks, but the other unit actually, instead of having to thread the unit, the entire body out all the time, it actually has a pretty cool ball bearing unit that actually allows you to have large fluctuation in there without having to do that. So that's going to be the biggest difference between these two particular units right here. So now, there's our chuck right there. We'll come over to the Lockmasters unit, and again, they're going to give you some basic base plates here. This is going to be for your Sergeant Greenleaf and Lagarde locks. That's going to be your drill points. You bolt that on there, and then your base plate will bolt directly to it. And again, you're going to have two ways to do that. One is going to be with these hex nuts that are actually going to thread right onto here and into these little holes. You can see each one of these is threaded, and then that's going to thread right onto there, and then the base plate unit is going to air chuck right on. I'll show how that works right here. So that's all it takes to hook this unit up. We don't have to pull it apart, so there again, there's that back and forth between the box being a little bit bigger and being a little bit easier to use. But you can see this unit here has a big hex nut on it. Okay, and they give you all this stuff. They're going to give you the driver and basically an impact gun here, or an impact socket, and this drill adapter, and that's what's going to allow you to drive that. So, as far as the attachment method, I think the StrongArm unit wins that one. I don't like this. I would much rather see something more directed, simple, that just goes directly on there. So that's just my personal opinion on that. Where these things really start to break away is, once again, this here is a fairly simple unit to break that away from there. And then look at how easy this is. I can do this with one finger all day long, back and forth. I can do it with my pinky finger all day long, all the way, full stroke, in and out. Very, very smooth, very, very simple to use, and this is directly right out of the box. It doesn't need any break-in time or anything. So I don't know exactly how long that one would need to break in. I assume it would after a while, but this is butter smooth. And this is pretty much the main difference between the two, is that this one was perfectly butter smooth, super easy to use right out of there, right out of the gate. And that was one of the biggest things that I really leaned towards this unit for. The other thing is that this has this really nifty ball bearing unit. Okay, so we can pull that and then expand this unit out. We can actually remove the entire thing here if you want to. So you can see the little divots. Those are all breaking points where this is actually going to catch in these ball bearings that are in here. So you can see how that works. You can see those ball bearings in there, and you can see when you push those, that's going to release them, and then they're going to catch again. So, pulling this entire unit out is actually very, very easy. And you wouldn't even need to thread it back out or even actually remove it from the chucks on the safe. If you have like an inspection scope or a bore scope, you can actually pull the whole unit out and then run your scope down into the hole right here. So it offers two ways to get the rig out of your way, as opposed to only one with this one. And then I think, it's hard to say exactly, but I think there's more versatility and room and throw in this unit than there is in this unit, simply because of that locking factor. Like, this has however many inches of threaded room, and then on top of that, it's got the ball bearing step amount of room too. So that may be something I'm actually going to try and look into and see if I can get a measuring tape and see if we can measure the actual throw of these. But yeah, as far as changing bits out and making it easy and user-friendly, I think the Lockmasters unit has it on this one. Both of these also have increments of measurement here, so you can actually put this collar. I had another little piece. There's a little brass piece that goes on that. What I did with that. There are increments of measurement on both of these units, Lockmasters, and then StrongArm is right here as well too. There's like a little collar thing that you can put on here that allows you to measure it. So you know, at the end of the day, once again, either one of these units is going to make you, if you don't have a rig at all and you're just using a lever rig, or you're just using, you know, brute force right now, either one of these is going to make your life 10 times easier. As far as the little features on each one, you know, it's like Chevy and Ford. I wish we could take the two and combine them together. I wish we could take the chuck on this one and put it on this one, and I think they'd have pretty much a perfect unit, and then shrink this box down a little bit, and then add a dial puller. If we're going to take up this much room in a box, let's add a dial puller, or all the stuff that we're going to need in there. But it does also allow you to use some extra room for bits and things like that, to go ahead and put in there too. You know, as far as setup time, this one sets up faster for me personally, only because it took forever. This one has to go in the box like this. It takes forever to get this thing threaded back out, as well as quite a bit of effort to do so. So you can thread it out to where you can get your drill bit in there and get set up and ready to go. But other than that, you know, they're both really good units. Where would I spend my money? I would spend money, I would buy the Lockmasters unit. It's just more versatile, it's easier to use, frankly it looks cooler. Just the red and the anodization of the aluminum pops a little bit more, and it's got more ways to get things out of the way. You know, I can pull the entire unit out, or I can use these chucks and pull that out, and either way. But that's my... Hey guys, it's the end of the video. You know, help me out and help me help you out. Right below the description box right here is a red subscribe button. Subscribe to me, and then you're going to get the latest and greatest information that I put out. Sometimes it applies to you, sometimes it doesn't. You know, it's just going to at least let you know that we're putting out new and current information. And then right over here is a thumbs up button. Give me a thumbs up. Help this video rank higher in the searches for the search terms that you're using, and let other people be able to see this. You know, that's the best way you can help. Interact. Leave a comment. I will get back with you if I can and try and help you answer your questions. But the more you interact and post this to Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and spread this through the social media, the more that allows me to be able to help do more videos. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And subscribe, share, and like. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.